What's up, guys? So the last video I released was commentating my own race, and it seemed to have gotten a pretty good reception, pretty positive reception. Thank you all you guys for watching, and thank you all you guys for giving me feedback. I mean, like, watching back, I kind of have an idea of what I need to do. Just be a little less conservative. Overall, I mean, like, it's something that I think I'm going to continue doing, so be on the lookout for the next one. I haven't done any more races since Daytona, so the next one's probably going to be a race that was earlier than that. Probably one of my races from Homestead at the beginning of the year, in February. But other than that, guys, I won't lie, I'm tired. I'm really freaking tired. I mean, having a kid is like a lot of work. And everyone warned me about it. All the sleepless nights, all, you know, waking up every couple hours, you know, because he's crying and everything. But how do you prepare to be tired? I mean, like, I'm just complaining about the feeling of being tired. Other than that, the kid's just been like, Riley's just been like so cute, and so I look at him and all that like frustration about being tired just kind of goes away. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. he is ridiculously cute. Look at him. Anyway, so since the kid requires a lot of attention, finding time to do things is undoubtedly a lot more difficult. And it has been a lot more difficult. There was a race at Homestead, you know, this past weekend, and I had to miss it because I can't leave the kid with my wife all alone. I mean, that just wouldn't be right. And on top of that, you know, I said in my last video, my last regular video, that there was like a 70% chance I'd be able to go to the Southern Track Days event at the end of May 27th, 28th, I think. Kind of thinking about it now and how things are going at the moment, I may not be able to do it. But if you can do it, you definitely should. Southern Track Days, awesome organization. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I highly recommend them, especially if you've never done track days before. They are a great organization to get your feet wet into track riding. May 27th, 28th, go sign up. Go sign up. Just do it. You'll thank me later. But that essentially brings me to the topic of this video. Because, you know, I've had to take a hiatus, or I'm having to take a hiatus from track riding. How do I keep my race sense about me? And what I mean by race sense is like, how do I explain this? Think about it like this. Like, if you don't practice something, you kind of start sucking at it, right? So the more you practice, the better you get. And when you stop practicing, you kind of like backtrack on that progress. Now, nothing is as good as seat time. I mean, nothing will be a perfect substitute for seat time. But I have 3 things that I like to do to kind of keep my mind racy. Wait, not racy like that. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, riding fast and racing, there's a huge mental component to it. And your mind, like a muscle, requires exercise. And so this is going to be like some light exercise for that mental component. So without further ado, these are the 3 things that I like to do to exercise my race mind, and I'm going to order them in the order of like ease and cost. Alright, so first up we have racing sims. Now, by racing sims, they're essentially just like racing video games, but the more realistic ones, right? Not like your Fast and Furious, Need for Speed games, even though those are fun, but like ones like Forza 6 and Gran Turismo, Project Cars. I personally am a Forza 6 player because I have Xbox One, and if you are a Forza 6 player, add me on Xbox Live right here. And I'll leave my gamer tag in the description below. I'd love to race with you guys when I have the time. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time because of the kid. Anyway, so how does a race sim help? Well, race sims are designed to simulate like real race mechanics. Now, they may not be perfect representations of real life, but if you're gonna race well in a race sim, you have to practice things like braking, race lines, corner entry, corner exit, you know, drive. You have to set up passes, all that good stuff. And these are all concepts that permeate all of racing in general. So those concepts that I have to practice in the game help me conceptualize what I kind of like, how I'm supposed to ride. Even though, like I said, it's not like a direct one-to-one comparison. 2 wheels, 4 wheels, real life, fake life. But the key here is to play it like you were really racing, right? So that means that you race clean, that you don't go and just run people off the track, you don't make the shifties. I'll be honest, I've made some shifty passes in Forza 6, but in general, like when I race in the game, when I race with my friends on Forza 6, we try to race clean. We try to make it so it's as realistic as possible because, I don't know, for me, it's a lot more fun that way. That's how I like to race in real life. Another thing that you want to do is to gradually, if not right, if you're already pretty good at it, is to take off all the assists. Assists like traction control, anti-lock brakes, stability control, all that stuff. You know, you want to kind of like just reduce the amount of assists, and you want to bump up the difficulty in the game. If you're racing with friends, you know, there's no difficulty to deal with there, but taking off the assists will help you learn control. Throttle, brake control, you know, turning control and all that stuff. So practicing that stuff, you know, it translates conceptually, mentally, but it doesn't translate like in real life. So don't think that because you're really great at Forza, you're really great at these race sims, that you're gonna just kill it once you get on a bike and out on track. All right, next up we have go-karts. So race sims are great on a conceptual level, and like all those concepts can be practiced with just race sims in your living room. But there is another dimension that race sims can't cover, and that's the sense of speed. You go into a turn in a race sim and you just wrench it right in there, and whether you make it or not, no big deal. There's no sense of like, there's no risk to it. Now with go-karts, and I'm talking about go-kart places that are legit, not like those kiddie go-kart places that have carts that could go like 10 miles an hour. I'm talking about like go-kart tracks where they have rental carts at the base level that could go up to like 45 miles an hour, and they might even have like more professional carts that could go even faster than that. What I'm trying to like kind of impart here is that you want that sense of feeling when you go around a corner, how fast you could go around the corner. You know, you try to go full speed into a hairpin on a go-kart, you're not gonna make it. So practicing to just try to chip away at your lap times on that track, learning how fast you could take corners, and trying different things like braking late, braking earlier, and like, you know, carrying more corner speed, that kind of stuff. Also setting up passes in a more realistic setting. All of those help, you know, with your sense of speed. And that sense of speed is an extra dimension that really helps with learning how to achieve that feeling on the track. And then finally, the next point is like the closest thing to actually riding track, and it's mini bikes. Now mini bikes are nowhere near like the same as like actual bikes, and they don't replace seat time on the bike that you're gonna normally race with, but they're pretty close. I mean, two wheels, you know, 2 wheels on a mini bike, 2 wheels on a race bike. So you could practice some of the things that you were going to practice on a bigger bike, on a mini bike. Now, because like mini bikes in general, like I'm talking like Groms and maybe the smaller 150 like 4-stroke dirt bikes that have been converted to Supermoto, they can't go as fast, so they're normally ridden on like a go-kart track. So there's a few there's like go-kart tracks that allow like mini bikes on them, and there's a lot of like these mini GP organizations that race these mini bikes on these go-kart tracks. And it's, I mean, like other than being like a ton of fun and mini bikes being cheaper in general, though you can rack up costs with it, mini bikes are a great way to keep that race sense going, keep that race sense like nice and sharp. And then bonus round, I guess. I know a lot of you are probably thinking by now, why not dirt bikes? Yeah, you know, dirt bikes are great. I've actually had a few excursions on dirt bikes, and it's been a lot of fun, but it's a lot different. Now, there's a lot of things you could learn riding dirt bikes on dirt that will help you a lot on street bikes. Stuff like feel, right? Like everything on a dirt bike is loose. You're on ground that's not solid, so you're gonna be sliding around a lot. And if you could control those slides, I think in general, like you're gonna be better off on a big bike when that happens. You know, it's not gonna be like you can save everything, but some of that skill set transfers over to the big bikes as well. There's a lot of people that I know that start on dirt bikes that are automatically fast on street bikes, on road racing bikes. And there's a lot of pros, I mean like MotoGP pros, that during the off season or between races, they train on dirt bikes, on flat track, on motocross, you know, because it's great, you know. But the thing is, if you're like me and you start on street bikes, going to a dirt bike is hard. It will probably take me a while to get to the point where I could start taking those skills that I'm learning on the dirt bike and apply them to the street bike. Anyway, that'll do it for me for this video. What are some ways for you guys to practice your race sense? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear them. Maybe you have a better idea than I do, something that I could probably do. That'd be pretty awesome. Let's start a discussion about that. And of course, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new here and are not subscribed, please subscribe. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.